Hey gang, this is Vicky Kelly. I wanted to go over the system. I did another great job today, and so let's look at it. And usually trending days, our system doesn't quite do as well, but today it captured it very well. Sometimes there's a orderliness to the market that fits the fractal dimension of our system very well. So our first setup today came right at the open. And as you can see, it did flip to a negative parsar dot originally, but we didn't get the confirmation with the other dot until it had already flipped back. So we did not have a short there to mess us up. And then you can see that we got our confirmation here on this particular candle. Now, there was a couple ways we could do this, and I want to show them to you. Um, we could have drawn the lines where I did, which was here and here at the base of this candle, because this is obviously down movement and then busting through. But we wouldn't have gotten our confirmation till here. So we would have entered here and we would have exited here for about 17 points. Okay. There was something else you could do and it would have worked out. I want to show that to you. You could have put your line here and you would have been able to capture more of the move. You would have captured it from here 53.50 up to the 88 and would have been able to miss this particular stop out that we had to take. I'll talk to you about that just a second. Now, I want you to notice that that made a very large energy line and what 13 points of an energy line versus this one which was 8 or 9. So I will always err on the side of the conservative play when we're talking about that much of a difference, because of the fact that if you're wrong even a little on this one, it's by the time you get up here, that's a lot of points that you to be able to get stopped out on just simply because you missed a few points. So again, either one was valid. The key to that, and let me show you, is this was the confirmation candle. The highest I will place my energy lines is the bottom of that confirmation candle, because that can guide us into when it had enough energy to break out. So it's not wrong to choose that. It was just riskier, that's all. But I again chose the more conservative place to put it, which would have been here. As you can see, it had gone down. It was breaking out to a new high of the day, and that looked like breakout energy to me. So I entered here and took this up to here. I got out right here because it was halfway through and it hit that like a brick wall. If you see, I mean, there was no stopping this, and it hit it like a brick wall. And I thought that has got to turn around at some point in time, and indeed it did. So I was able to capture for myself, I was able to capture this move. But if you had held on, you would have been able to get up to 17 points on that. Now, when you see that it is a trend up day, that is a day that we have to remember the fractal nature of the market and realize that it will give us follow-on buy signals. And so I want you to see how I did those. It usually will pull back and give us some sort of a wick, a fairly identifiable wick in that as well. And so I also drew lines. Let's see, I believe I placed them. Yep, I placed them there. And so I did the follow-on buy signal as well. You see, we got again another confirmation that this was headed up. And so I re-entered here and wrote it up to here. Now, again, that's a little bit of an advanced play. Don't really want to confuse anybody with that. But when you see that this is just keep going and going and going and going, you can say, well, where else could this go? And because of the fractal nature of the market, it's going to make these patterns in different places that we're going to be able to see. And the better we get at it, the more we're going to be able to see them. So I saw that one sitting up, was able to capture a few more points that way. And then as you can see, whether you did the target line here or the target line here, then we would have set up for a down move. And not unexpected at all that this did not make it down to the target level. And let's talk about that for a second. It's not unusual at all in a very heavy move for this to break out and only go down to this level. And as you can see, we never closed below it. By the time we got our confirmation, we were back up to here doing a return move and would have entered here and then been stopped out for our 10-point stop. I was doing 5 micros with the 10-point stop today because what are the energy lines? The energy lines are about 10-point energy lines. But I want you to notice a couple things here when you're figuring out. We actually were only down 4 points because we would have entered here, but we would have gotten stopped out when it went just above here. One other thing I'd like to show you, and when you take the course, you'll see we talk about the importance of dojis and paying attention to them. This doji actually showed us that where everything went and that the play was already over, because you can see it actually did. If you use that doji as a line, it actually made it to a 400 level move. Again, that was way after the fact, and we have to be able to take an educated guess and play our probabilities. So that would have been that line there. Again, not unusual for good to go down to this level and turn around on a very heavily trending day. But if we were smart about our entries, we would have only lost 4 points on this one. And we can't try to capture every single point, or we'll either miss out on them or we'll be getting in places that it's just going to chop us up. And so be careful of that as well. So when this stopped us out, we would have looked and said, okay, if this is going to do a follow-on buy signal, what would that look like? And that looked like this. Again, follow-on buy signal. We would have been able to buy at this line here and write it up to here. And as you can see, we have our nice little doji at our trigger line or our target line. And so that also helped us to be able to capture 15 points on that one. Again, this is just the way the market moves. You say, well, why did you take this one? Because I have trading friends who would say, I would never would have taken that one. Well, that's true. That's the way they play this. They never would have taken it. But what I know is 2 out of 3 days, that would have worked out to a 400 level move. And so which 2 of those 3 days they are, we don't know. That's why we play the probabilities, not the possibilities. And we just take the stop out because on the other days that would lead to a very nice down move and we would have captured a lot more points than that. So it's just how the system works. And then there was one more setup at the just under the nick of the wire with the 11 o'clock trade here and here. Let me erase this so it's not as confusing. And we would have gotten our confirmation here. Again, we don't look for trades after 11:30, but we also don't have to exit them at 11:30. We would have gotten in here and ridden that to here for 8 points approximately, if you were able to capture all of that. So all in all, a great day for our system. The market was orderly, at least up until about noon, and something that showed us the patterns pretty well. And we were able to play all of them and only have one stop out. So that's a great day for us. So I want you to stay safe out there and good luck trading.